Hi, everybody. Welcome to Reality Bars TV, where we talk about all things reality TV shows. You guys, listen, if I'm not posting on this channel, I'm definitely posting on my other channel. So make sure that you are also subscribed to Ntando Mamdlech Kwala, that side, okay? Because sometimes the gossip is just a lot that day and I don't come over here. But anyway, you guys, I wanted to review the Married at First Sight episode 3 because I hadn't done it. This was last Sunday's episode, and I wanted to give you my thoughts on the couples. I want to say, you guys, I am so pleasantly surprised by Dian and Kutso. You know, my favorite people. They were not my favorite as a couple because I did not think that they were a good match. I was worried about Kutso because he is so quiet and reserved and laid back. And Dee, uh she's going to speak up and she's going to tell you what she thinks or what she needs and all of that. So I was worried, you guys, especially because Dee had mentioned that she has been a bully in her previous relationships, or she has been called a bully in her previous relationships. So that worried me. I was worried about Kutso, you guys, but I was so pleasantly surprised by how they are doing. In fact, you guys, out of everybody, I feel like for me, I feel like they seem more genuine when it comes to how they are interacting with each other, and I really feel like they are really giving it a real try, and I feel like they might possibly fall in love with each other. And I do like this her whole thing about sleeping in a separate room now, and I feel like it helps them to take things easy. Okay, but listen, we are not kids, so we do know that they are given space, you know, to be alone. And I don't believe that, you know, every day she's sleeping over there by herself. Okay, I feel like she just wants us to think she's taking it easy. I do kind of feel like she's probably spending more time in Kuto's bed than we are seeing. Okay, so I really am pleasantly surprised by the two of them. Then, you guys, when it comes to Kumo and Tabang, Kumo and Tabang are doing well. Okay, if I don't really look closely, you know, and I don't know, like if I take a relationship here on the surface, you know, they're getting along. You know, we haven't seen them fight or anything, and it looks like it's working. But there's something that's off about Kumo no Tabang, you guys, and I can't put my finger on it. In moments, I do feel like, hey, are they acting? You know, angazi khona into engekho like 100% when it comes to Kutso and Tabang. So even though the relationship looks like it's working, but I'm just wondering, is it real? You know, are they really like giving this a try, or is it really just something that they are doing for TV? Time will tell, though, guys. Time will tell. And usually, things get revealed before the 90 days is over because it's a difficult thing to live with a stranger for that amount of time. So, if you are not being genuine, it's going to come out. But there's just something that I'm not feeling when it comes to Tabang and Kumo, but they are getting along, you guys. And then there's another one. This is another couple that I'm worried about. Sebenzile and Boy Tsepo. I'm just so worried. I think with them, they are it looks like they're acting like everything is perfect. Like if you met a stranger, you guys, and you've spent, say, a week with them, it's impossible for you to just say, I don't have any red flag. I haven't seen any red flags with this person. You know, um I don't know, I'm not believing it. They are acting like everything is so perfect in their relationship right now, especially when they were all at the reunion. Then they were sharing their experience, how their marriage is going, and everybody has to say what their red flag is, what their green flag is. I really don't believe a story of, if you spend a few weeks with somebody, you are definitely going to pick up red flags, and you are definitely going to pick up green flags. And also, at times, I feel like Boitsepo is a little bit more excited than Sebenzile. And Sebenzile, sometimes I would feel like I'm not sure about him. I'm not sure if he really is excited about this. And I know the thing of touching the ring, but for some reason, like when you've just got the ring and it's new and you're not used to it, you can be touching it a lot. But every time he touches his ring, in my mind, I'm thinking it's him not being sure about what he's doing right now, especially with the marriages, you guys. So I'm not sure about them. If I had to choose which of the two seem more genuine between Kutso and Tabang and Sebenzile and Boitepo, I would have a hard time because both the couples, for me, I just feel like I'm still trying to figure out. Like, I feel like with Kumo and Tabang, I feel like there are possibilities that they're just doing a TV show. And then with Sebenzile and Boitepo, I feel like they are really doing the experiment, but in terms of them giving feedback as to how the relationship is going, there is some delusion going on. Okay. And I feel like maybe it is perfect. Maybe it's just me being cynical, but I just feel like it can't be as perfect as they are saying. Okay. So, and then it's Tamy and Zitobile. In fact, you guys, I feel like Tamy knows Tobile and D and Kutso, those are the couples that I feel like they are doing the experiment. Even though I do feel like Tamy and Zitobile are not going to work, okay? I feel like I know the Tamy guys. I know Tamy guys. Guys like Tamy are set on their ways, and they when you come into their lives, you have to change everything about you and accommodate them, you know? Their way of thinking, they always think their way of thinking is the only way that is right. Okay, they're not willing to consider your way, and you have to accommodate them. Okay, I feel like Tobila is in that situation right now where Tamy is not willing to compromise. Okay, Tamy is going to teach you how to treat him. And you have to do it that way. So I'm worried about Tamy knows Tobila. I don't think that that relationship is going to work. But as far as them being in the experiment for real, I really feel like genuinely they are. So I'm not feeling like I'm unsure about them. I really feel like they're trying. But I feel like with Tamy, I also Tobila is still going to go through some things. So Dino could also have this sleeping arrangement where I think even at the back at the honeymoon, there was an option to sleep separately. I think they gave the couples that so that should you not feel comfortable to spend a night with your partner, you can sleep in another room. And also, this is a stranger, you guys. Yes, you got married, but you got married to a stranger, so you might not be immediately comfortable to spend time, sleeping in the same bed. So, but Dee had mentioned this before that she wishes she could be in a relationship where they were sleeping in a separate rooms. They can be married and sleeping in separate rooms. So I'm still trying to figure out, is it because she's not ready? To be that close to Kutso, or is it a thing that is going to be existing in their relationship where she just doesn't feel like she needs to be spending time with Kutso, every night with him on the same bed. So now, you guys, listen. The nice thing about Kutso and D is that they did do the things of the marriage, okay? you know, I thought, because guys, listen, Kutso is a good looking guy. Good looking, very polite, very nice, very loving, very respectful. I think it would be very hard for somebody to be in the same house with him. And especially if you are married to him and not be attracted to him, okay? Not be attracted to do other things with him. And also, there's something sexy about somebody that is just, if you want space, they give you space because he's respectful that way. Even though you could see that he wanted to spend time with D, with them sleeping on the same bed. But when she said, "Listen, I'm gonna sleep in another room," she was like, "Okay, if you're not comfortable." But apparently, the next morning, she came onto his bed. Okay. I don't know when the things of the marriage happened, but they did happen at some point. They did confirm, you guys. And they said it went well. Okay. Because that's another thing. You can marry a person and they look cute and everything, and you can live in the same house and you are able to communicate and compromise and all of that. But what if you do the things of the marriage and the things are not thinking, you know, and the chemistry is not there? What are you going to do? Okay, so you have to do it. So that you have to do it within the 90 days to be able to decide, okay, now physically, are we matching? Okay, it looks like Kutso no D, they did match, you guys. I honestly feel like Kutso is going to fall in love with D before D falls in love with Kutso. He might actually already be in love, okay? And but I think he is trying to give D some time. Listen, I love the fact that Kutso is Dee is so happy with Kutso that she was even emotional about the fact that she didn't even think that guys like that exist. Guys, they do exist. Okay, listen. But okay, guys, I said from the beginning of this show that I just love Kutso. I feel like I feel the same way about Kutso that I felt about Genesis from the Ultimatum. Okay, I feel like in my mind, Kutso is my son. Okay. I feel the same way about Genesis in my mind. He is my son. So I really want him to be happy, but I also want Dee to be happy. And when I was saying that I don't feel like the relationship is going to work, it wasn't like I was saying that Dee is not a good person, but I wasn't feeling like they're going to do well together as a couple. Now, at the reunion, you guys, there is an exchange because they have this reunion dinner where all of them come together just to have dinner and talk about what's going on, how the marriages are going. And apparently, I don't, Kuso doesn't say that he doesn't drink, but he doesn't drink when they're together. When they were together as the guys in the beginning of the show, apparently he didn't drink then. And even now he doesn't drink. He didn't drink at the time. He was like, no, guys, I'll drink, but not now. So now I wasn't sure whether Kuzo doesn't drink, but he's not wanting to say to the guys, no, I don't drink, because there is an indication that he is somebody that doesn't say what he's thinking, which is what Dee was saying at some point, that for her, she feels like it is a red flag that Kuzo sometimes doesn't say what he is thinking, you know. Here's the thing, you guys. A guy like Kuto is very nice to be with in times when it's just the two of you. But there are times, like I feel like as a woman, sometimes you want to know that your man can stand up for himself. Because if he can't stand up for himself, there's no way that he can stand up for you, Like, there's no way that he will be able to speak up to have your back, in, when he needs to. You understand what I'm saying? So if it's hard for him to stand up for himself and speak up for himself, is he going to do that for you as a partner? So I feel like even at the table when the other guys were kind of putting pressure on him to drink, Dee ended up being the one to say, guys, but why are you putting him under pressure? If he doesn't want to drink, then he shouldn't drink. So I feel like at the beginning of the relationship, it might be okay for Dee to be the one that speaks up, but later on, I feel like it might end up being an issue that he's not only is he not able to speak up for himself, but he's not able to have his wife's back when he needs to. So that was a worry for me, you guys. But otherwise, I'm happy with Kuto and Dee, and I'm excited that it looks like they are proving me wrong, but it's still early, you guys. We are still going to watch a lot with this couple. Now, you guys, with Kumo and Tabang, remember they didn't have honeymoon, so they went back to Joburg, and all of them are given apartments to live in during the 90 days. Okay, beautiful apartment. When they come back from honeymoons, their pictures are there, cute. But obviously, Kumo and Tabang didn't get that, so their pictures ended up being delivered when they were getting the invitation for the dinner. So now with Kumo no Tabang, I think the biggest issue is the cooking thing, because I think with Tabang, even though he does not want to admit, I think he's a typical man that really would just love to get a home cooked meal every day at home. Okay. And I feel like the 90 days is the time to actually express that, so that you can see the reaction ka Kumo. Is Kumo willing to be that, wife that is going to try and cook a meal every day for you? So I feel like he's holding back, but I definitely feel like he's that guy that expects a meal, would love a meal every day cooked by his wife, because he says he hates cooking, but he also doesn't want to order out, you guys. I don't know about these young guys that still expect that from their partners, but at the same time, they are not willing to adjust in terms of helping out in the house, because Kumo has a career too. She's working right now while they're doing the 90 days. Tabang is working as well while they're doing the 90 days. So now I'm like, wouldn't you adjust a little bit? You know, there were dishes there by the sink that are not washed, but he's kind of demanding a meal, or kind of expressing that he would like a cooked meal. So I don't know, you guys, okay, if this generation of men should be expecting a like cooked meal every day from their wives, when they also know that the wife is just as active in terms of their career as they are. So I don't know how that is going to work, because Kumo as well is one of those that are like, listen, if we can get a takeaway, why should we bother cooking? Okay. But other than that, when they are not talking about isn't of the cooking or whatever, the washing of the dishes, they seem to get along. Okay. And if I don't really think about the things that I see that kind of make me feel like they are acting, then I feel like they're doing well as a couple. Okay, they're getting along. They haven't had like blow ups when it comes to fights. So yeah, I guess we are still watching when it comes to Tabang and Kumo. And next episode, you guys, she's going to be asking him about meeting the family. I don't know, you guys, because it's a strange thing. Obviously, within 3 months, it's not a strange thing that your partner doesn't introduce you to to their parents when you are just dating them for 3 months. 3 months is not a long time, okay? So if somebody says, listen, I date people for a year before I introduce them to my parents, that is not a bad thing. However, in this situation, this is a marriage. So it's like, so you're not going to introduce me to your family when I'm married to you, but at the same time, it's only been few weeks, okay? So it's like I understand Utabang in him being reluctant to introduce Ukumo to his family, but at the same time they're married. So when is he going to do it? Okay. Anyway, but for me, the hunger thing and the cooking worries me, because I feel like Utabang is pretending that this thing doesn't bother him, and then he is going to be able to do it for 90 days, and then at the end of the 90 days they're going to decide they're staying together, and then it's going to become a big issue now, because now they are together. So I really feel like the things that they really want, they should express those things right now. Dian and Kutso actually made a decision, because now but they were trying to figure out, okay, so how do we do housework? Okay, who washes the dishes, who cooks, and all of that. So they ended up deciding that Kutso was going to wash the dishes every day, and then Dee was going to make an effort to make him breakfast when she can. Okay. And I thought there was a good compromise, but I did wonder about other things, you guys, because it's not like you just need a meal and wash the dishes after a meal. There's cleaning the house, there's the laundry, and Kutso and Dee also have kids. They still have to have those conversations as to what's going to happen with the kids should they decide to stay together. So that's why I'm saying it's still early. We are still going to see a lot when it comes to these couples. So with Sebenzile and Noboitsebo, guys, I don't have a lot to say about them, because I'm not sure what's happening with them. And because they are just all acting like they are perfect, it's hard to even find things to discuss when it comes to them, because they just seem to agree with everything, and everything is so perfect. They like each other, they love each other's company. Maybe it is perfect, but it's almost like it's too good to be true. You know, when it's too good, it's likely not real, kind of a situation. But I'll wait and watch them some more. Tamy, you guys. Tamy has already made his wife cry. Can you believe it? Okay. Yeah, I could. I knew that it was Tobile. But it was Tobile usazokhala, guys. It was Tobile nje usazokhala. Because uThami ngiyam-understand, I mean, uThami ngiyam-understand. You know, besides ukuthi umZulu, ngiyam-understand nje uThami. So apparently at the honeymoon, Zitobile ended up crying because Apparently, Utami just wanted her to take off the gown. I mean, what can you complain about? If I don't want to take this gown off me, then my wife should do it for me. So Zitobile, maybe Zitobile, I think Zitobile took out one arm and then the other arm was like, ah, you take it out yourself. You know what I think happened? You know, because maybe she's trying to compromise in a relationship. Maybe Utam was like, "Can you take off my gown?" And also Tobile was taking off the gown. And while she's doing it, she's thinking, "I can't believe I'm actually having to take off this guy's gown." And then she was getting frustrated with herself that she's doing the thing that she doesn't even think she should be doing, and then ended up crying because really the her crying was because of the argument they were having about taking off the gown, because after she took off one arm, Utami didn't understand why she was not taking off the other arm. This was a petty fight, but it's a representation of future fights that they are going to have, because Utami didn't even think that he should be packing his own suitcase when they were coming back from the honeymoon. It's like, that is her job. She should be packing her own suitcase. Here's the thing, you guys, and this is both sides of like women and men. Men will have this thing of, this is what the role of a woman is, and she must iron for me, she must wash for me, she must cook for me, she must whatever, okay, packing my suitcase, all of that. Then we get to finances. They still want you to work, because of course they know if you work, then financially you contribute to the household income, which is what is happening with Utam, because Utam is saying they need to have a joint account because now they are one. Listen, I kind of feel like they need to wait, okay? I'm not against joint account when it comes to finances and you are married, because I do feel like in a marriage value you have to account almost for every single cent, okay? Because then you have to hold each other accountable in terms of your finances, okay? Unless you just decide when you're not revealing imali yakho in the marriage, and mhlawumbe ufane ufuna uyixhashisele yakho imali, whatever. Now, so this is the thing, you guys, for me. For an example, I feel like Utami wants to have those roles where a man doesn't do anything basically, and a wife cleans, cooks, irons, packs your suitcase, all of that, okay? But then when it comes to the finances, he wants a joint account. And if you want a joint account, it means that you are expecting that your wife is going to contribute to that. But he also wants the roles, which shouldn't be, because if you want the roles, then as a man you should financially take care of the family. You know what I mean? Now, on Zitobile's side, she does not want the roles. That's how I'm understanding it. She does not want the typical roles of being the wife, picking your suitcase, ironing for you, cook for you, and all of that. But she also doesn't want to contribute to the household, because she says, I want to enjoy my own money. And that, for me, I read it as her saying she does not want to contribute to the bills except for the groceries, because she said, no, we can just share money when it comes to the groceries, but the groceries is not going to be the only bill that you have. You're going to have cars, you're going to have a bond, maybe you're going to, all of those bills that you have as a couple, the normal bills you have as a couple, okay? So sometimes I feel like we have to accept that both sides have to adjust. When it comes to the roles, a woman can't be doing everything, especially if it's a woman that is working. But with this couple, that is not going to happen, because I don't see Utami washing the dishes. I don't see Utami folding the laundry. I don't see Utami ever making a bed, for an example. He is expecting that Uzitobi is going to do that. So now I'm not understanding how he is wanting to have a joint account where Zitobile's money goes into the pool too. So they are not matching that. So I'm just wondering how they are going to handle that. I don't see Tamy and Zitobile last. And also, they haven't talked about the situation of them moving to Dubai, because Tamy works in Dubai and wants her to move there as well. So that part of it, I don't know how they are going to fix it. So now, you guys, with at the reunion, Tamy and Tabang and Kutso, no, and Kumo ended up arriving late because they got the invites late. It was sitting by the door. Tammy's working in the house, didn't sit. I don't know why the production didn't just give it to him in the house so that he could call Kumo to come home early so they could go to dinner. They go to dinner, and anyway, Sebenzile and Boyisepo were acting perfect, and Tamy and Zitobile, everybody can see that there's things there, you know. He even pointed out that he thinks that Zitobile is a crybaby, which is not a good thing to say about your wife when they were having an emotional moment. I'm under the impression that she has only cried once. But I mean, somebody crying once doesn't qualify them as a crybaby. So I'm wondering if maybe it's possible that she has cried more than once. Okay. Anyway, you guys, I think with Tamy and Zitobile, I'm worried about Zitobile more because I feel like there is a possibility that she's going to lose herself trying to make this marriage work because she is with somebody that is not willing to compromise. I don't think that when they have conversations about who cooks, who washes the dishes, Tamy is going to be the one to say, I'm going to wash the dishes like Kutso did. And like Tabang did that because I think Tabang also ended up saying he's going to wash the dishes. So she is probably going to have the hardest time. In the next episode, there is a preview where she says that they don't have an emotional intimacy. And I was like, yes, Tamy is exactly who I think he is. He is that guy. I feel like I know that guy. I was like, that guy, Vele, he's not going to have any emotional intimacy, you know? And I don't know, you guys. I wouldn't be surprised if Tamy and Zitobile, after 90 days, they decide that they going their separate ways. But I feel like Zitobile is probably going to be the one that is going to say, no, I'm not doing this anymore. And Dian and Kutlo, I want them to stay together, you guys. I do want them to stay together. I'm just worried about that bully thing, that she mentioned. But they're getting along and I'm loving it, okay? Anyway, you guys, that's all that I wanted to talk about when it comes to this episode. Please go into the comment section and tell me what you think about the couples, okay? I'm loving Kutso and D. Are you loving them? Kumo and Tabang, guys, tell me, what is this thing that I'm feeling about them? Ngathi baya ektanyana. Sebenzile and Boyitepo, too good to be true. Tamy and Zitobile, disaster waiting to happen. That's how I feel about these couples. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before we're gonna share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers in the tanda.